Thanks again for tuning in to the Chuck Land Show. Today I'm going to present an amazing original band from around the Cincinnati, Ohio area called Hickory Robot. These guys are awesome.
I became the forsaken son.
I made a grown man cry, I made a panther care. Well, I'm plain old mean again, mean about the hour. You cross yourself once, then cross yourself again. Two parts temptation and another part sin.
My name is Chuck Land, and I've lived in many worlds, being a musician, veteran, animal lover, family man, videographer, and documentarian. Since 2005, my crew and I have documented over 17,000 hours of interesting people and places. I love what I do because you just never know what you're going to document and learn from each experience. Just maybe I can contribute to making the world a better place through my efforts. What I love about Hickory Robot is their energy, their songwriting, their talent, and each of the band members can sing really well, which you'll see in this video coming up. Hickory Robot is one of those bands that I can never get tired of. If I had more time, I would be out seeing them live all the time. You can also go to their website, hickoryrobot.com, to book them for your private event or festival.
I am forceful and fast, like a westbound train, like a 2-ton semi in the driving rain. My brakes are slipping, and I'm losing control. I am pleasure and pain, I am reckless and wild. I have the ways of a woman and a heart of a child. You call me what you like, the facts are in.
Scott and I started about 6 years ago. And we were working together and we met just talking about music, and he's playing mandolin, I'm playing guitar, and we just kind of had some tunes we'd like to play, and it was kind of a joke for a while. Hey, we should start a band, we should do this, and I had the name Hickory Robot, and thought that was kind of funny, and it stuck, and so. But that's how it started. We get together to talk about bluegrass, and we put a band together, and we had a fiddle player and a bass player, and just started rehearsing, and kind of snowballed from there.
Thank you very much for Hickory Robot. Thanks for listening, everybody. I was down to my last nerve as I come around the curve on August day in eastern Tennessee. Feeling kind of lost when I chanced to come across a roadside market neath an old hickory tree, where there were jellies and jams, there were stacks of jars and cans, there were bushels, parsnips and plums. When a woman of grace held a peach up to my face and told me, boy, you know you ought to eat you one. She said they grow those peaches right down Georgia, ripe and round as sweet as they can be. They grow those peaches right down Georgia, right down Georgia is where I want to be.
Yeah, we were all in other projects, and the music store I was working for had a bluegrass event, and we needed a band, so Jim and I put the band together, and that was our first gig. It was actually, I just found that card. It's August 31st, 2008.
Still waiting to get paid.
Exactly, yeah. And then we played a gig a couple of weeks later at a private party, and then we didn't play again for about 8 months, and then in the spring of 2009 we really became a thing we rehearsed and got songs together and really started playing out on a regular basis.
She said, American, born and raised, well, it's where I spend my days as a child, just learning of the world, till I finally hit my fill of the city and its hills. Now I'm a bona fide farmer's country girl. I said they grow those peaches right down Georgia, ripe and round as sweet as they can be. They grow those peaches right down Georgia, right down Georgia is where I wanna be.
Jim is just is a fantastic musician, and I was aware, you know, almost from the start that he was just a very unique guitarist, and that he was just had some great ideas, and we just clicked right away. What's exciting for me is that prior to Robot, Jim wasn't really writing songs, and once that we had this project and he had a vehicle to do that, he just exploded as a songwriter and would just be like, I just wrote 10 songs and all of them were dynamite. And it's just been amazing that we've just, you know, suddenly had an instant catalog of great original material. And it really challenged me as a songwriter too. When we played our very first gig, we had 4 originals and they were all mine. And by the time we played, you know, really started gigging out a few months later, we had quite a few originals and most of them were Jim's. So he had just really, you know, blossomed as a songwriter, and that's been great. I mean, he's just a fantastic musician and just got huge ears, and is kind of the sort of the anchor for the band musically.
Drinking, why'd you meet me at a bar? If you didn't like the music, why'd you buy me a guitar? I don't want to keep you if you don't want to wait. So no, baby, I won't be late.
Everyone in the band brings a lot. You know, we all have different musical backgrounds with it, and I had played with Lauren in a musical. She was recommended to me. She was going to school at the time, NKU, and a friend of mine said, hey, here's a young girl that's very talented. She was young at that point, you were 21 or 22, and I had a musical that I was doing up in Middletown and called her and, you know, hit it off. And so as a matter of fact, we were looking for a fiddle player. I think I asked, you know, you interested in playing fiddle? And she said, yeah. I said, do you sing at all? She said, oh, yeah, a little bit. So it turns out she sings quite a bit, but yeah, she's brought the face to the band, and she's certainly a wonderful fiddle player and an amazing singer.
Yeah, she's remarkably talented.
Baby, it's too late for you. You always think it's wrong. If you don't like my friends, why'd you come along? I don't mean to keep you if you don't want to wait. So no, baby, I won't be late. You got a mighty fine sense of what is
On bass we got Mike Georgin. The original bass player in the band was Matt Holt, and Matt decided after a few years when we put out our first CD that he wanted to take some time off for himself, and you know, so we had a very amicable parting, and we knew Mike had played gigs. I was in a gypsy jazz group with Mike for a very brief period of time, and so he became just sort of a natural choice for us, and he was really excited to get to further into upright and bluegrass and that sort of thing. And he's just a journeyman Cincinnati musician. He's won a ton of CEAs and been in countless bands. He was in Over the Rhine, and it's just a real pro player.
Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go, like it doesn't matter where we go. There's someone that was in a band with Mike or saw Mike play with a band, and it's ridiculous. Yeah, he's a definite journeyman. He's been in every band there's been.
Yeah.
No, baby, no, babe, I won't be late. No, baby, I won't be
Scott has brought quite a bit to the band, and if I'm the anchor, he's the engine. He drives so much of what happens. I mean, a lot of what we've accomplished has been just due to his passion for the band and his ability to kind of make the phone calls and get out there musically. He's amazing, and just what he's done on the mandolin. He's, that kind of like me, that was a later in life decision, and he's just really blossomed on that. It's interesting because his background as a bass player, and that informs his playing as a mandolinist. He was with the Schloemer before that, so he'd been writing some songs, and just songwriting has improved. He's very passionate about playing the mandolin and learning and growing, and that's been a great vehicle for all of us. I think we all kind of have that desire to. It's not just a place to get and play. It's a place to grow and push each other a little bit, and he's a big part of that.
I'm going down to the devil's den. I'm gonna feel that fire burn my skin, feel those flames scorch my soul. I'm gonna walk in a bank stand, the heat that boils that last lamp, and I know that I shall never return. Lord, it's too late, I can't undo my fate. When I took up the gun, I became forsaken son.
Our future goals for the, to just keep moving forward. We're playing a lot. We've been playing a ton, and we're looking to get outside Cincinnati some more and play some other cities, open up some other markets, and looking to get more involved with festivals in the summer. We have a lot of goals. It's making them happen one by one is the problem. We'd do it all now if we could.
Yeah, I think this year, last year was a remarkable year. I mean, in 2012 we played a lot, but we put out Sawyer, and it got an Album of the Year nomination, and we were really able to use that to book and kind of open some new doors. In 2013, we ended up playing about 75 shows, and getting out of town and starting to make a name in other markets. And I think this year the goal is just to continue that, and we've already got a lot of festivals lined up.
shadow trails my every step, whisper haunts my every breath, and all I know for certain is what's gone. With every hour seems a year, the darkest of my fears, there's no skin left to cut from my bones. Lord, it's too late, I can't undo my fate. When I took up the gun, I became the forsaken son.
Had a lot of friends and supporters who've helped us out, and Scott Preston from Cincy Groove has been just a fantastic supporter and has really helped us a lot. Chuck Land Show, and you know, just some great rooms around town. We've got a great relationship with the Southgate House, and there's just so many wonderful rooms in Cincinnati. It's just a great scene for the Americana folk bluegrass scene, and we're really happy to be a part of it. And you know, we're just excited to see how things are going to grow. We're heading back into the studio this year to start our next CD, and looking forward to just seeing where that can take us.